Issues and professional registration being called to order. I should call the roll.
Chairman Brown.
Here.
Senator Berger. Senator Brown.
Here.
Senator Huff.
I'm here.
Senator Lewis. Senator McCreery. Senator Shore.
Here.
We have
We have a quorum. We'll be hearing 3 bills today.
Yep, we should be good.
We're going to vote on a couple bills first. While we got everybody here, I move that Senate Bill 895 be brought up before the committee. Do I have a second?
Make a motion to go into executive.
I move to go into executive session. Do I have a second? Okay, we're in executive session.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes. I move that Senate Bill 895 be brought before the committee. Do I have a second? I have a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Ayes have it. The bill is before the committee. I move that Senate Bill 895 be voted out of committee. Do pass. Do I have a second?
Yep.
I have a second. This is Senator Ben Brown. He presented this Senate Bill 895. It modifies provisions relating to temporary licensure for individuals with work experience. Senator, would you like to further explain the bill?
Pretty much covered it. Been voted out of committee unanimously the last 2 years, possibly 3. I don't know what the first vote was. Appreciate the committee's support.
All right. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I should call the roll. Oh, sorry, Patty. Go ahead,
Yep.
Senator Lewis.
Yeah,
Speak up.
I brought up this concern, and I think the senator from the 24th had the concern too about the U.S. citizen, and just wanted to, we had talked about briefly about lawful or legal resident, and I don't think that's been addressed. Hopefully that's something we can work through. I've had some folks come over who are here legally and not quite a citizen, but working on it. So I think this should apply to those folks.
Yeah, that piece was specifically regarding, we didn't want to create an opportunity for any kind of human trafficking or anything like that. So like, working for a massage parlor or something of that nature. But yeah, I imagine there's a way that we could still capture that, but yeah, word it a little bit differently, and happy to work with you on that going forward.
That sounds good. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Ashley, call the roll to vote Senate Bill 895 out of committee. Do pass.
Chairman Brown.
Aye.
Senator Berger.
Aye.
Senator Brown. Senator Huff.
Aye.
Senator Lewis. No. Senator McCreery. Senator Shore.
Aye.
5-1.
By your vote of 5.
Wait.
Okay. So Senator Lewis, you want to change your vote to an aye?
6-0.
By your vote of 6-0, the motion carries. I now move that Senate Bill 991 be brought before the committee. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is before the committee. This is Senator McCreery. She presented Senate Bill 991 a couple of weeks ago. There is a substitute ending in .04C and has been distributed to the committee. This bill is relating to interior designers.
So
She's not here, so is there any comments on that for her? Anybody? Okay. I now move the adoption for the committee substitute. Do I have a second? Do I have a second? Is there any discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting committee substitute say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Substitute is adopted. I now move that Senate Bill 991 be amended by the committee substitute, be voted out, do pass. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Is there any discussion on that? Hearing none, I shall call the roll to vote Senate Bill 991 out of committee, do pass.
Chairman Brown.
Aye.
Senator Berger.
Aye.
Senator Brown. Senator Huff.
Aye.
Senator Lewis. Senator McCreery. Senator Shore. 6-0.
By your vote of 6-0, the motion carries. I now move that Senate Bill 1022 be brought before the committee. Do I have a second? I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is before the committee. I move that Senate Bill 1022 be voted out of committee. Do pass. Do I have a second? I have a second. I presented Senate Bill 1022 a few weeks ago. This bill is relating to self-storage. Or any discussion on that? Hearing none, I shall call the roll to vote Senate Bill 1022 out of committee. Do pass.
Chairman Brown.
Aye.
Senator Berger.
Aye.
Senator Brown. Senator Huff.
Aye.
Senator Lewis. Senator McCreery. Senator Shore. 5-1.
By your vote of 5-1, the motion carries. I now move that Senate Bill 1247 be brought before the committee. Do I have a second? I have a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is before the committee. Senate Bill 1247 was presented by Senator Ben Brown, and Senator Lewis also presented her bill, which is identical. There is a substitute ending in .02C and has been distributed To the committee substitute just rolls the two bills together. Senators, would either one of you or both would like to add any comments to that?
I think you did an excellent job, Mr. Chairman. The language was essentially identical, so all the sub does is roll the two numbers
Okay, I now
together.
move the adoption for the committee substitute. I have a second. I have a second. Is there any discussion on that? All those in favor of adopting committee substitute say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The substitute is adopted. I now move that Senate Bill 1247 and 1445 be amended by the committee substitute be voted out due pass. Do I have a second? I have a second. Is there any discussion on that? Hearing none, Ashley call the roll to vote Senate Bill 1247 and 1445 out of committee due pass.
Chairman Brown.
Aye.
Senator Berger.
Aye.
Senator Brown.
Aye.
Senator Huff.
Aye.
Senator Lewis. Senator McCreery. Senator Shore. 6-0.
By your vote 6-0, the motion carries. I now move that Senate Bill 1405 be brought before the committee. Do I have a second? I have a second. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is before the committee. I move that Senate Bill 1405 be voted out of committee due pass. Do I have a second? I have a second. This bill was presented by Senator McCreery. This bill is relating to speech pathologists and audiologists. Senator, do you have any additional comments to that?
Oh, she's not here.
Oh,
You're good.
never mind. Guess she doesn't. Is there any discussion? Ashley, call the roll to vote Senate Bill 1405 out of committee to pass.
Chairman Brown.
Aye.
Senator Berger.
Aye.
Senator Brown.
Aye.
Senator Huff.
Aye.
Senator Lewis. Senator McCreery. Senator Shore. 6-0.
By your vote 6-0, the motion carries. This will be the last bill that we vote on today. I now move that Senate Bill 1423 be brought before committee. Do I have a second? I have a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The bill is before the committee. This is Senator Crawford's bill. She's presented Senate Bill 1423 a couple of weeks ago. She's presented the committee sub, which was distributed ending in .02C. I have given each member a copy of the memo for reference. Excuse me. I now move for the adoption of the committee substitute. Do I have a second? I have a second. Is there any discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting the committee substitute say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The substitute is adopted. I now move that Senate Bill 1423 be amended by the committee substitute, be voted out due pass. Do I have a second? I have a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I shall call the roll to vote Senate Bill 1423 out of committee due pass.
Chairman Brown.
Aye.
Senator Berger.
Aye.
Senator Brown.
Aye.
Senator Huff.
Aye.
Senator Lewis. Senator McCreery. Okay. Senator Shore.
Aye.
We'll leave the board open and get her vote, but 5-0.
By your vote of 5-0, the motion carries. We'll leave the board open for you, Senator McCreery. We voted on several bills today if you want to. Okay.
All right, 7-0.
By your vote of 6-0, the motion carries. Okay, I now move to leave executive session and resume our regular hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. We're in our regular hearing. Let's see. Today we're going to be hearing three bills. First bill up, Senate Bill 1492. Senator Bean, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. For the record, Senator Jason Bean, representing the 25th District, here to present for your consideration Senate Bill 1492. This act establishes the Physician Assistant Licensure Compact, which allows for the interstate licensures of physician assistants. The compact sets forth the requirements to be met for a state to join and maintain membership in the compact. Additionally, the compact provides the requirements for a physician assistant to obtain and exercise the ability to practice in the remote participating states. Amid an ongoing practitioner shortage, physician assistants stand ready to provide quality health care services throughout the state and could be of great benefit to rural Missouri. This compact makes it easier for patients to access a provider, including through telemedicine, reduces delays in providing care by eliminating administrative burdens, allows Missouri to attract and retain physician assistant workforce due to license portability, improves continuity of care when patients or physician assistants relocate, supports relocating military spouses. This compact does not, does not change the scope of practice by physician assistants practicing in Missouri. It does not prevent Missouri from enforcing its own regulations on physician assistant profession. It does not prevent Missouri from taking disciplinary action against a physician assistant, and it does not change the licensing or continuing education requirements for physician assistants in Missouri. Missouri is already a member of multiple licensure compacts, including for nurses and physicians. This legislation also has language regarding reciprocity for physician assistants. This section was passed last year and signed into law, so we plan to remove this in a substitute moving forward. For your reference, this is in section 33.4.742 or lines 1.89 of the bill. Lastly, the House version of this bill is further along in the legislative process, and their committee sub has additional language to address concerns raised by other stakeholders on this legislation. You'll probably hear about those from some witnesses here, and we will add that language to the Senate bill to address that as well. I'm not going to filibuster my own legislation. The bill summary is online. It has a lot greater detail, but we've got some really great witnesses coming up behind me with that. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Senator Bean. Are there any questions for Senator Bean from the committee? Well, seeing none, is there any witnesses to testify in favor of the bill whenever you're ready?
Thank you for your time, Chairman and Committee. My name is Andrea Applegate. I'm a PA. I've been practicing for about 16 years. I've been a PA educator for about 8 of those years. And in my time, I have worked in a lot of border cities. I've practiced in Branson. I've practiced in Lamar. I currently live in St. Louis. And in those areas, our large healthcare administrations do have sites that cross the border. And for our Missouri PAs to be able to practice there, as well as those border PAs being able to practice in Missouri, would really expand care into some of those rural community health centers that just do not have a provider. Again, echoing the Senator's statement, this does not change our scope. We are not asking for any additional privileges. We just want to be able to have licensure throughout the 22 states that have already adopted this compact. We do have all of our border states, aside from Illinois, that have adopted this already. So we are just opening up that ability for PAs to practice in Missouri in those rural areas.
Are there any questions for the witness? All right. Hearing none, thank you for your testimony. Are there any witnesses testify in favor of the bill?
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. Wes Sutton, Deputy Division Director for your Missouri Division of Professional Registration. On record in support, this provision is part of our application for the Rural Health Transformation Program. It is part of what we are trying to do to make sure we maximize the federal dollars we're receiving from the program. Happy to answer any questions.
Senator Huff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can you substantiate how much money we're talking about?
So our application was approved for $216 million a year for each of the next 5 years. So I believe that's $1.08 billion total.
How much difference does this legislation
We don't have. I don't have the exact number.
Because
of
this is not
what-
the first time that we've heard in this committee that if we pass this legislation, it's going to help with the rural.
So the
healthcare
difference with
transformation
this
act.
versus
And I'm
the-
just trying to corroborate the actual dollars associated with this.
So the difference between this and some of the other provisions that have come up is that this was actually part of our initial application for it, is saying that this is something we will do as part of our point total.
What if we don't do
receive.
it? Then did you
That
lie on your
is-
application?
That is the concern, is that we would potentially face clawbacks. We're not sure what the number would be or what our
So
time
we filled out an
frame is.
application to the feds saying we're going to do something that takes legislative action?
We did. Most states did that.
I probably
as
wouldn't have
well.
done that.
So we're trying our best to get this done as fast as possible so that we make sure that we can maximize our dollars.
Yeah, when I fill out applications, I generally use information that is 100% truthful and can be substantiated, but not something that may show up later on. But thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you
Thank
for your
you.
testimony. Are there any witnesses testify in favor of the bill?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sam Panettiere on behalf of United We, nonpartisan nonprofit think tank, Kansas City, focused on women's economic and civic advancement. I'd like to go on record in support. We believe this reduces barriers for women's labor force participation.
Thank you for your testimony. Any questions for the witness? All right, seeing none. Any other witnesses testify in favor of the bill?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Arnie C. A.C. Dinoff, State Public Advocate. Did you receive my online testimony? Okay, cool. So I'm going to be in favor of this Senate bill. I think it's common sense. Our border state, as you all know, 8 states border our great state of Missouri. We need a lot of additional resources, especially in all corners of the state where it's predominantly rural in the northeastern, northwestern, southwestern, and southeastern corners of our state, including the Boot Hill in southern Missouri. There are desert counties. There are some counties in which it's about 3 counties in which somebody reaches a physician's assistant or a doctor. We need to work on those issues to provide great care to our rural parts of our state. Now, I want to ensure that our state promulgated regulations of testing, licensing, continuing education stay intact, and that we have oversight of state investigative authority. I want to make sure that we don't give that up to the compact or other states. We need to make sure that bad actors and complaints are thoroughly and timely investigated to protect all Missourians in terms of medical care throughout our states. But because of our shortage for physicians' assistants, doctors in rural Missouri, I believe that Senate Bill 1492 is a great fit. And so therefore, I'm a proponent of this bill. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for your testimony. Any questions for the witness? Seeing none, are there any other witnesses testify in favor of this bill? Any witnesses to testify in opposition to the bill?
Lisa Panett, Armor Vine. I'm giving you a form for this one and the other compact because the intent is the same. I fail to see what you can't accomplish with reciprocal agreements, and I have not received an answer from anyone regarding that question. What I do see is that, for one, we're violating Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3 of the United States Constitution by doing these compacts. I also see that we're handing over our sovereignty, which we do not do with reciprocal agreements. Page 7 says a rule means a regulation promulgated by an entity that has the force and effect of law. We should never be giving rules the effect of law. You give the ability to accept money here. We've incrementally been getting rid of provisions that prohibit receiving money and gifts. That's so that you can't buy off entities. It's common sense. But we were getting rid of that incrementally over the years, and now we're actually legalizing it, saying, go ahead, take gifts. We'll let you get bribed. Qualified immunity here, you're going to give them immunity from suits and liability. So as they could write any rules, you're going to make them immune when we try to sue them, which in my opinion will be eventual, that they will get sued for something that they do. And then last, there's a 24-hour emergency rule that they get to put in place for 90 days before we can even barely have a say in it. So it's for these reasons that we are opposed.
Thank you for your testimony. Are there any questions for the witness? All right. Any other witnesses testify in opposition to the bill? Any witnesses testify for informational purposes only? Senator Bean, do you have any final comments?
No, appreciate the time, and I will tell you that where I live, especially in the Boot Hill, when you're dealing with Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Illinois, this is very, very important. So thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Senator Henderson, Senate Bill 1430.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee members. For the record, Mike Henderson, State Senator from the 3rd Senatorial District, presenting Senate Bill 1430. Last week on the Senate floor, I think we unanimously passed out the critical infrastructure bill, and this is kind of a follow-up to that, the way I see it, at least in some forms. Senate Bill 1430 updates Missouri statutes governing regulation, purchase, and resale of certain metals such as copper, bronze, and brass. The legislation is intended to strengthen oversight of scrap metal transactions, reduce opportunities for metal theft, and provide clearer standards for business operating at the scrap and recycling industry. Copper theft continues to impact communities across Missouri, especially in St. Louis and Kansas City. Current scrap metal laws were written to combat catalytic converter theft and mainly apply to recyclers handling auto parts. As a result, many scrap metal recyclers remain unregulated, allowing stolen copper to be sold with little oversight. This bill closes that loophole by applying Missouri scrap metal regulations to all recyclers statewide. It also extends existing ID verification and check payment requirements, making it harder for criminals to profit from stolen copper. It improves oversight and regulation of metal transactions. It clarifies regulatory requirements for scrap metal dealers and related businesses, enhances record keeping and transparency, updates statutory language to reflect current market practices, protects infrastructure and property, and stolen metal can damage or disrupt critical infrastructure, including electrical systems, as we've seen with 911, telecommunication lines, construction equipment, and agriculture. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I'd be happy to take any questions.
Oh, thank you, Senator. Any questions for Senator Henderson? All right. The witnesses testify in favor of the bill whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, Noel Torpy with MCTA, the Cable Association. We want to thank the sponsor. He did an excellent job laying out what the bill does. Obviously, over the last few years, copper theft has gone up tremendously. I just have a few numbers here. Nationwide, in December 2024, there were 57 incidents of this. In 2025, 9,700. And 1 year later, it was over 15,000. And unfortunately, in Missouri, we are third. It's California, Texas, Missouri, especially in St. Louis and in Kansas City. Oftentimes, they're cutting fiber thinking there's copper in there. And to the senator's point, hemorrhaging, 911 calls and emergency communication. And so we feel that this bill will help curb some of the, bad actors in the scrap metal industry in hopes that we can, stop some of these unnecessary burdens that's happening all across the state and the country, for that matter. So with that, I'd be happy to take any questions.
Any questions for the witness? All right, hearing none.
Thank you.
Next witness testify in favor of the bill whenever you're ready.
Mr. Chairman, Vice Chair, members of the committee, my name is Jeremy Ketter with AT&T, and I'm here today to testify in support of Senate Bill 1430. Copper and metal thefts continue to pose a serious threat to critical communication infrastructure across Missouri. When copper cables or grounding wires are stolen, the damage often goes far beyond the value of the metal itself. These incidents can disrupt phone, broadband services to homes and businesses, and in some cases impact access to 911 and other emergency communications. Senate Bill 1430 helps address this issue by strengthening record-keeping requirements and improving transparency in scrap metal transactions. These tools will help law enforcement better track stolen materials and deter those who target critical infrastructure. Protecting telecommunication networks is essential for public safety, economic activity, and reliable connectivity for Missourians. For these reasons, we respectfully urge the committee to support Senate Bill 1430. And we thank the sponsor, Senator Henderson, here, and thank you for consideration.
Thank you for testimony. Any questions for the witness? Senator McCreery.
Good morning. Thanks for being here. So I've worked with your company on other issues. So when an investor-owned utility that's regulated by the Public Service Commission has something damaged, they can fix it, and then the cost of those repairs and replacement get rolled into a rate case, and then, we all and our constituents pay for it. What happens when you have damage to equipment and materials? Like, how does that ultimately impact our constituents?
Well, it impacts your constituents because the service is disrupted, correct? So we, as a company, we have to go repair that particular line that's been cut. So last year alone in Missouri, AT&T spent $2 million on repairs.
$2 million?
$2 million
Okay.
alone in Missouri. So
Ultimately, that gets rolled into the prices and
Yes,
eventually.
passed on to the customer,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, gets passed on. All right, very good. Thank you.
What are the questions for the witness? Seeing none. Thank you for your testimony. The witnesses testified in favor of the bill.
thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Arnie C. AC Dinoff, State Public Advocate. I testified online. You should have received my positive form in support of SB 1430. When it comes to the Class A misdemeanor for accepting stolen or some type being involved in a ring of scrap metals, I would like to see a harsher penalty for catalytic converters. I believe, Senator Berger, I think you had a bill last year. I'm not sure if it made the finish line or not, but I know that Representative Mayhew over in the Senate about 2 weeks ago had a bill before, I believe, Public Safety Committee, making it a felony to accept a number of catalytic converters from one dealer. So it's still a problem in Missouri, and I don't know if you've ever encountered the theft of a catalytic converter, but if it hits a commercial facility such as a bus depot for a school district, it could put them out of business for weeks if they cut those catalytic converters and sell those. We need to stop that in Missouri because it is creating a harsh hardship on businesses and also residents who cannot afford to replace the catalytic converter. It can be anywhere from $800 to $3,000 to replace it. It's got very expensive metals in there, and I'd hope that the sponsor would put something about making it a felony to accept stolen catalytic converters. The other issue is records. It says records for 3 years. I'd like to expand that and see an amendment to 5 years. I think their statute, it should mirror the statute of limitations if there's ever a civil lawsuit that's brought forward, and I think that's very pertinent to this bill. The other issue of 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., I like those times of doing business. I think that's reasonable. The last issue is if there's a transaction with any person more than $500, that they write a check. I hate to say it, but checks are outdated. I don't know when the last time I wrote a check. It's probably been over 15 years. I don't know about any of you, but writing a check, it's a very rare occurrence that somebody pulls out their checkbook and writes a check. So I'd like to see some type of other electronic payment, either to a bank account, savings account, checking account, something electronic that would be sufficeable. For those reasons, I support SB 1430. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for your testimony. Any questions for the witness? Senator Huff.
So you're in support, but you've got a lot of changes that need to be made.
Well, I think that the bill sponsor would be maybe amendable to those. So yeah.
So are you plan on working with the bill sponsor and
I
helping make those changes?
I would love to. Would you be agreeable?
Sounds like a plan.
Are you open to it? No comment? Okay. I hear you.
Are there any other questions for the witness? All right. Seeing none, are there any other witnesses testify in favor of the bill? Are there any witnesses testify in opposition to the bill?
Mr. Chairman, Shannon Cooper today representing Advantage Metals, and I was going to testify for informational purposes, but I recall you often say you're either for it or against it or don't come in here. So,
I'm here today. Advantage Metals, we're probably one of the largest purchasers of scrap metal across the state. We have facilities in Kansas City, St. Joe, Columbia, St. Louis. We recently purchased Grossman steel out of the St. Louis area. Probably one of the more sophisticated buyers. Currently in statute, there is very strict standards for record keeping. And I'm going to be honest and not belabor this. We can pass this today just as it is, and you're not going to change a single thing because we've got tons of folks out there that are operating illegally today, and they're going to operate illegally tomorrow, and they're going to operate illegally after you do this. And one of the greatest frustrations we experience in the Kansas City region, if anybody here is familiar with our location on Manchester Traffic Way, you can turn into our yard. We can turn you away because you don't have a driver's license or you don't meet the criteria currently in statute. You come out of our drive, you take a right-hand turn, and within a half mile, there are locations with signs out front that say paying cash for scrap metal. Nobody enforces the rules, and this isn't going to change it, and it's frustrating to us if we enact this, and we're going to do whatever you tell us because we're a company that does everything right. So if our cost goes up to where we have to pay a little less for the metals, what happens is that the people figure it out, and even the honest customers are going to go sell to an illegal operator because he's paying them more because I followed the law. So, I mean, unless there's something in this legislation that mandates the police to follow up when we turn folks in, mandates the prosecutors to take these crimes seriously, until the day I walk away from this building, I'm probably going to be up here opposing stuff like this because we're not gaining any ground. I appreciate the folks supporting it. Jeremy came over to our facility in Kansas City and got to witness how we operate, and we're a top-notch operator. I'd take any of you in there and tell you that, but if we don't have the enforcement and the prosecution, that's going to change. We supported the critical infrastructure bill. We believe that that's good legislation, and it puts a stiffer penalty on the bad actors, but this is not going to do anything other than make bad actors a little more profitable, and they're not going to conform. So with that, I'll shut up and answer any questions you might have.
We can't even regulate slot machines and gas stations.
It's tough. But
and that's easy compared.
I'm happy to see our Attorney General getting excited about it.
So yeah, I don't have a lot of hope that I'm going to vote for your bill, but I'm pretty sure nothing's going to happen. Yeah. Is there any questions for the witness, Senator McCreery?
I love this chair, by the way. So when you're talking about one of the reasons why you guys can't pay as much, it's because there's some reporting requirements in here. That
Yes.
means you have to hire probably administrative people because you got to transmit stuff in within so many hours, no later than the close of business.
If we're not in a hurry, I'll explain.
No, I don't need you to explain.
I like talking. So.
Well, that's why you can't
Yes.
pay as much, because you've got to hire administrative people to jump through these hoops to report and that kind of thing too.
And again, we follow the rules, and we're going to follow whatever rules you
Yeah.
pass. But it's I hate to be depressed. It's not going to help one bit.
Okay. Well, I'm a big fan of scrapyards. We just got a walker for my mother-in-law at a scrapyard for $5.
That's
So-
great. Bargain. A bargain.
Hey, nothing but the finest for her. So.
Yeah.
What are the other questions for the witness?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, thank you. Are the other witnesses testify in opposition to the bill?
I don't think I can be as funny as Cooper, but that would be difficult anyway. Trent Ford. I'm a registered lobbyist for the Recycled Materials Association. We do all things scrap, metal processing, commodities brokers, and I'm here to testify in opposition to this bill. Since we got on to catalytic converters, I thought I'd go there first because there's really a misunderstanding about how these things go. People aren't coming to our facilities with a catalytic converter in their hand. That's real easy to spot when they come in because we already take pictures of their card, pictures of their license before they ever walk in. Then we'd ask them for their ID, we'd ask them for a receipt, and then we'd go out to see that they did the car as a new catalytic converter in, which is easy to do. It's nice and shiny, as opposed to the other one. That's what we do with those. Mostly, we have contracts with anybody from Dobbs Tire to Midas to you name it. It's Plaza Tire. And what we do is have contracts with these guys, and we pick up their metals, their catalytic converters, maybe once a week, or depending on how much volume they have, twice a week. We simply pick them up in what's a huge dumpster. We take them to our lot. We weigh them, minus everything. We put them on a train car to be processed someplace in Chicago, because there's no processing plants unless they're illegal in the state of Missouri. But that's how generally people do the catalytic converter things. Beyond that, we thought this is real burden on Department of Revenue. It's something they had never done, because now they're going to have to get a couple of FTEs. It's going to cost a little money. We just got the fiscal note this morning. It's about $900,000, because the DOR is going to have some computer, a couple of FTEs, that kind of thing. There's only 2 other states that do it through DOR. Now, I've been told it's because of the salvage language that DOR has. But most states use it through Department of Public Safety or even Department of Agriculture, because of the weights and measurements part of agriculture, and we're dealing with commodities here. Let's see. What else did they do? Oh, within the bill, the way the bill is structured, it doesn't make any sense. They've taken different parts from different states. I AI'd this thing. So they take different parts from different states and try to cram them into Missouri statute. And it's like taking a square peg and putting it into a round hole. It just is not working well enough. If you wanted to change this all the way that it is right now, it'd take you 100 pages or more to change every little nuance of this bill. The other thing, when it's cable, there's nothing in here about fiber. You know, that's the big complaint, that people think they're getting into a copper and it's actually fiber. Well, it still costs them a load of money for this stuff. But you can't recycle this. It's silica. What else was I going to say? It just is more regulations to us, more government, more money, and we prefer to really work with the sponsor and try to get some of this stuff straightened out. I think that's it. I've taken long enough.
Thank you for your testimony. Are there any
Sure.
questions for the witness? All right. Hearing none.
Thank you.
Any other witnesses testify in opposition to the bill?
It wasn't too nasty, was it?
Senator, do you have any closing comments?
Just one, and that is, if we didn't pass laws because we thought they might not enforce them, there's probably a lot of laws we probably wouldn't pass, especially dealing with drugs and some of the other things. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Thank you. All right. Next up, Senator Berger, Senate Bill 1149. Whenever you're ready.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. Thank you. Good morning to you too, Senator. Thank you for the opportunity to present Senate Bill 1149. For the record, Senator Jamie Berger, representing the 27th Senatorial District, Southeast Missouri. Senate Bill 1149 is the Athletic Training Compact Bill. The Athletic Trainer Compact is an interstate licensure agreement that allows athletic trainers to practice across state lines more efficiently while maintaining licensure in their home state. The compact streamlines licensures, reduces administrative burdens, and strengthens public protection through enhanced sharing of licensure, disciplinary, and investigative information among participating states, while preserving each state's authority over regulation and discipline. The requirement for ATCs to join the compact must have a maintained board of certification for athletic trainers, clean, active license fees paid background check, jurisprudence if required. In the House, this bill passed 117 to 27, sponsored by Representative Sherry Gallick. Who will benefit from this? This will benefit the healthcare shortage areas by improved access. Telehealth providers, patients, 39% of adults use telehealth. Benefits multiple populations, military, students, and families. When would it go into effect? The compact would go into effect once 7 states pass the legislation. Missouri, Ohio, and Nebraska have currently filed legislation. Michigan, Indiana, and New Jersey are expected to file this year. Kentucky, Alabama, and Tennessee are currently working constructing these bills. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
All right, thank you, Senator. Are there any questions for Senator Brown?
So are there any states that are in this compact right now, or would we be the first?
I think we would be the first. Right now, there's 3 states currently actively pursuing.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? All right, seeing none, are there any witnesses testifying in favor of the bill? Whenever you're ready.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, my name is Brent Hemphill. I'm here on behalf of the Missouri Athletic Trainers Association. I want to go on record in support of it. We do have a House bill that is over here waiting to be second read and referred to this committee. It is identical to this version. We would be the first state, Senator Brown. This is the first year that this compact is being rolled out to the various states, and so again, as the senator indicated, we need 7 states to actually fully pass it to start the process, which can take years. I've worked on an SLP fix. Our compact is 4 years into the development of it, and it's still not up and running yet. So it's not due to anything that we've done. It's just getting the other states to comply, to pass it in a number of states, and getting the board to be developed. So I assume this will be just as painful if we do pass it.
Any questions for the witness? Seeing none, are there any other witnesses testifying in favor of the bill? Thank you for your testimony, Brent.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sam Panettiere, on behalf of United We again, just like to go on record in support. Appreciate the sponsor bringing this forward.
Thank you. Are there any questions for the witness? Seeing none, are there any other witnesses testifying in favor of the bill? Any witnesses testify in opposition to the bill? Senator, well, never mind. Hang on. We got one.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Arnie C. A.C. Dinoff, State Public Advocate. I submitted my testimony online this morning. I have to oppose SB 1149. I was opposed to it in the House. I believe that this is not a essential medical issue, that athletic trainers can travel to Missouri to take our regulated test, comply with any promulgated rules, licensures, background investigations. As a bill sponsor said, the complaint investigation would remain in Missouri. I believe wholeheartedly in that. These athletic trainers can easily obtain a Missouri license, and so therefore I don't see the need for the compact. It seems like it would cost our state additional money, additional expense, additional fees to run this program, and so I believe in our Department of Professional Registration that oversees this program with the rules, regulations, and state statute. Therefore, I have to oppose SB 1149. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for your testimony. Are there any questions for the witness? Are there any other witnesses to testify in opposition to the bill? Seeing none, Senator, do you have any closing comments?
No, I don't. Thank you for allowing me to present.
All right, thank you. With no further business come before the committee, I move to adjourn. We are adjourned.